Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Rantiraram Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinira Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Jaya Jaya Kripa Moy Jagatiranath Sarva Jagatira Kuru Shubhadrishti Pad Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you so much for joining in this reading of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta by Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So we are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Adi Lila, chapter 4, from text 85 onwards or 86 onwards. But the verse we are discussing is basically 83, which is the memory verse also. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. I also encourage for those who feel inspired and try to memorize this verse. And it is so important. Why is it important? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is taking 11 verses to explain this verse. From 84 onwards to 95 are just the explanation of this verse in more detail. And we discuss what does Devi mean. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. So Devi basically means very, very beautiful. The transcendental attributes of Śrī Radharani. Devi here is very, very beautiful. Śrī Radharani is so beautiful, so beautiful. There is no comparison to her beauty. Even Krishna's beauty is, Krishna is called Madan Mohan, who enchants Cupid, and Cupid enchants everyone. Krishna enchants Cupid, but who enchants Cupid is Śrī Radhika, Madan Mohan Mohini. Krishna Mai. I was remembering we discussed about Krishna Mai. So Krishna Mai is one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. What is Lord Krishna? That's one. Two meanings are there in 85 and 86. And the other meaning is she's identical with the Supreme Lord in that the Prema Rasa. And there is a very nice bhajan called Shri Yugalashtakam. Yugal means two. Shri Radha and Krishna, the 8 verses which glorify the Yugal Kishore, Shri Radha Krishna Yugala Prema Mai. So Krishna Mai, from this I was inspired to read this. So Krishna Prema, very, very esoteric and very deep bhajan. Krishna Prema Mai Radha, Radha Prema Mayo Hari, Jivane Dhane Nityaṁ, Radha Krishna Gatir Mama. Radha Krishna Gati. Gati means destination. The 8th stanza. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya aprasadat na gatir kutopi. They will not achieve their destination, those who don't please the spiritual master. What is that gati? The gati is Radha Krishna, to attain the lotus feet. So what is Krishna Premamai? Krishna Premamai. Radha is made up of pure love for Krishna, and Hari or Krishna is made up of pure love for Radha. This is another meaning of Krishna Mai or Radha Premamai Krishna, Krishna Premamai Radha. So in short, they are identical in the Premara. So that's Krishna Mai meaning. And the other meaning is inside, outside. We also discussed Bahari Narshinga, Hridaya Narshinga. So these are the three we discussed till basically 86. 85 and 86 talk about Krishna Mais. Now I will move on to the next verse, which is, I think, 87. Krishna Vansha Purti Rupa Kare Aradhane Ateva Radhika Nama Purane Vakhane. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Shri Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas called her Radhika. Radhika. Purport, the name Radhika is derived from the root word Aradhana, which means worship. The personality who excels all in worshipping Krishna will therefore be called Radhika, the greatest servitor. Hare Krishna. So, text. If we remember this word, Devi Krishna Mai Prokta. What does Prokta mean? Prokta means is to speak or called. So Proktvan, or that's the first line. So we discussed the first line, Devi Krishna Mai Prokta. If we go back to text number 83, because we're discussing nothing but the verse 83 in detail. So we have discussed Devi Prokta, Devi Krishna Mai Prokta. So we know the word Devi, the word Krishna Mai. Now we're talking about the word Radhika in 87 and 88. Radhika word comes from the root word Aradhana, as mentioned by Srila Prabhupada here. Krishna Vansha Purti. Vansha means desire. So one who always wants to fulfill Purti, to fulfill the desire. That is Shri Radhika, the topmost servant. Ataiva Radhika Nam Purane Vakhane. Because her worship or Aradhana also means to worship. This is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Nasyam, Sakyam. Archana also means worship, Aradhana, or to do puja, to worship. And what is the main idea of worship? To fulfill the desires of the Lord, to make the Lord happy. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. So we can understand the meaning of Radhika is from the root word Aradhana. So let's see. Because she is the greatest servitor. As mentioned in the Yugalashtakam, also, there are so many verses. We can maybe read this also one by one. Krishna Dravinam, Krishnasya Dravinam Radha, Radhaya Dravinan Harihi, Jivanen Dhanen Nityaṁ, Radha Krishna Gatir Mama. Radha is the treasure of the heart, treasure of Krishna, and Hari is the treasure of Radha. Life's greatest wealth is Radha Krishna, my eternal shelter. Srila Jiva Goswami speaking. Jivane Dhane Nityam. What is the real wealth in life? Dhana is Radha Krishna. Dravina. Krishnasya Dravinam. Radha, Radhayaha Dravinaha Harihi. So what does Drava mean? Treasure here. Treasure. Okay, so we'll read this maybe one by one. With one verse as we are reading about Radharani. So we can move on to the next verse. Anyone wants to read text 88, please?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanar Pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada, text 88. Anaradhito nunam bhagavan hari ishvara janna vihaya govindo prito jamana adraya. Translation by His Divine Grace is Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. Truly the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. This is from Bhāgavatam 10:30-28. Back to Guruji.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. So let's see if there's a purport here, which there is, so maybe we can read this purport. Same verse. Anyone wants to read the purport for this text? Shruti Mataji. Shruti Mataji, want to read? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Purport. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that the word of Aradhita refers to Srimati Radharani. He comments the sage Shukadev Goswami has strived with all endeavor to keep her name hidden, but now it automatically shines forth from the moon of his mouth, that he has spoken her name is indeed her mercy. And thus the word Aradhita is like the rumbling of a kettle drum, sounded to announce her great good fortune. Although the gopis spoke as if jealous of Srimati Radharani, they were actually ecstatic to see that she had captured Sri Krishna. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes the following detailed description of the Srimati Radharani's footprint, as given by Śrīla Rupa Goswami in his Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. At the base of the large toe of her left foot is the mark of a barley corn. Below the mark is a disc. Below the disc is an umbrella. And below the umbrella is a bracelet. A vertical line extends from the middle of her foot to the juncture of her large and second toes. At the base of the middle toe is a lotus. Below that is a flag with a banner. And below the flag is a creeper, together with a flower. At the base of her small toe is an elephant gourd, and upon her heel is a half moon. Thus, there are 11 marks on her left foot. At the base of the large toe of her right foot is a conch shell, and below that is a spear. At the base of the small toe of her right foot is a sacrificial altar. Below that, an earring. Below the earring is a club. Along the base of the second, third, fourth, and small toes is the mark of a mountain, below which is a chariot, and on the heel is a fish. Thus, altogether, there are 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of the Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Hare Krishna. So here, Prabhupada's disciple, they wrote this purport. Actually, this verse during the Rasha Lila pastime, when Krishna left the Rasha dance, and actually in Bhagavatam, when Krishna left, it is said that Radharani had a man, means she had a obhiman, and she left the Rasha dance. And then when Krishna didn't see her, then he left. He was looking for her. And it is stated we will go through that when Mahaprabhu has a conversation with Rai Ramananda while he was going to South India tour. And there are so many conversations there, but one of the conversation Mahaprabhu was asking why Radharani is so important, and Rai Ramananda was explaining that Radharani is like the Rash Lila is like a garland, and Radharani is the string. If the string is broken, then all the flowers will come out. So same thing, when Krishna didn't see Radharani, he left. And then when the gopis also lost Krishna, even though actually in Bhagavatam it is written, but I was listening recently about Rash Lila explanation, Gopi Gita explanation by His Holiness Bhaktichar Maharaj and also His Her Grace Nitai Shevini Mataji. And they were saying that like Srila Jiva Goswami's Gopal Chambu, the explanations were like to increase the gopis and everybody's desire to worship Krishna. That pastime happened, like Radharani left him. So they gave a detailed actually explanation. If you want, you can go to the YouTube and see, listen to them. So here that the gopis, they saw Radharani's footprint along with Krishna's foot, and they were saying that here actually only this is the verse in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam where Shukadev Goswami stated little bit about Aradhita. Aradhita, by saying Aradhita, she is the one who actually, as we were reading previous verses, Prabhuji was mentioning in the verse 83, that she is the best person. She's the best person who can worship Krishna. Best. Nobody can do anything better than her. So that's what the Aradhita. And Shukadev Goswami just little bit spoke, as we read in the purport also. So because Shukadev Goswami was Radharani's pet, so he couldn't say Radharani's name. Otherwise, he cannot go give this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to Sri Parikshit Maharaj. So that's why he didn't say any Radharani's name at all, but that one came out in his mouth. And that's what he's explaining. Prabhu, Hare Kṛṣṇa, back to you, please add or correct.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful. So it will be good for us to meditate on your Radharani's feet, right? And since in the purport there is detail mentioned here, so I think it's quite important to understand. A few days back we discussed about the lotus feet of Śrī Krishna. These are the lotus feet of Śrī Radharani. If you remember, Krishna's right side has how many markings? Anyone remembers?
11, Prabhu.
11, yes. Almost same, right? Almost same, except for what? Except for a few. So, what does barley corn represent? Anyone remembers? Let's go in order. So, barley corn, anyone remembers?
Opulence.
Opulence. Okay. So, what can we meditate upon to give us opulence. What's a meditation here? Basically, grains provides nourishment, right? Grains provide us nourishment, so we can pray to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani to nourish our souls. So the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna are the real nourishment for the soul of the jivas, and those who take shelter of the lotus feet will certainly get free, will get real nourishment. The bodily nourishment we get through food, but the real nourishment we get through Krishna's lotus feet. Without that, everything is Manushya Janama Paya, Radha Krishna na bhajiya, Janiya Shuniya, Vishay Khaya. So I want to open the Krishna lotus feet also, so we can meditate some of the differences. Yeah, this is a good picture for Krishna's lotus feet. Okay, so I think everyone can see. So yeah, so this is Krishna's which feet? The barleycorn? Left or right?
Right.
Right. That's right. So 11 on the Krishna's right lotus feet, and 11 on Radharani's left lotus feet. So the barleycorn, the same position. Then the upcurving line. So anyone remembers what does upcurving line represent?
Going to higher point.
Yes? Did someone say? Urdhvarekha?
It's going to take us to the Golok Vrindavan.
Yes. The devotees who take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet will be transported to the Goloka Vrindavan. Then we have parasol, chhatra, or umbrella. Sorry, this is umbrella. This is not the umbrella. This is a chakra or the disc. So what does the chakra or the disc represent here? Same here. So pretty much same. There's some differences, but let's first understand the commonalities. So what does the chakra represents? Yeah.
Destroys our 6 anarthas.
Yes. Yes.
Last anger, desire.
It burns away. Darshana Mahajwala Koti Surya Samaprabha. Ajnana Timirandasya. It will destroy our ajnana, our timira, our lust, anger, greed, envy, the shad garbhas, the chaya begadomi, chaya dushashodhi, chaya guna dehudasi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says. So we can pray to the Krishna's lotus feet, Radharani lotus feet, to destroy our 6 anarthas. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. With the brilliance, with the effulgence to destroy the darkness. Okay, so then the lotus. What does the lotus represent? Anyone?
It acts like a
What? Sorry, I missed it.
Like a bee is attracted to the lotus. I
Hmm.
mean, we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. We are attracted like a bee.
Very nice. The bee is also always looking for the nectar in the flower, especially whenever we can talk about Krishna's beauty, Krishna's lotus feet, Padambuja, Kamalanabhaya, Kamalanayana, etc. we compare to lotus. So should always be hungry or for the nectar of Krishna's lotus feet, Radharani's lotus feet. Like a bee is hungry for the nectar in the flower. Very nice. Now the umbrella or the chhatra or parasol. Anyone remembers that?
Taking shelter under Lord.
Yes, very nice. Taking shelter of the divine protection. Like umbrella protects us from rains, right? Very simple. Why do we take umbrella? To protect ourselves from the rain. So to protect ourselves from the rain of material world, incessant rainfall of material desires, we must take shelter of Radharani's lotus feet or Krishna's lotus feet. So all these which we have discussed so far, and of course the elephant god also, and the flag also, all these are pretty much the same. Here the Shakti or the this is different, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these 7 are here same. If you observe carefully, on the Krishna's right feet, Radharani's left feet. The Varlicorn, chakra, umbrella, upward line, lotus, flag, elephant goat. So what's elephant goat?
Ganesh.
Ganesh. Ankusha.
It actually destroy our unsurmountable sins, like elephant.
Yeah, the mind, the wild elephant-like mind. You have to control the wild elephant-like desires, the mind, which is the seat of all desires. So, by this ankusha, this is the ankush, and when in the sometimes this is the ankush mudra also actually. This is the ankush mudra also do while sanctifying the water. So this is the ankush to control. We were talking in Bhagavad-gīta yesterday or the day before. Anushasitaram, Krishna is called Anushasitaram. To bring us under Anushasana, to bring our desires, to bring our mind in Anushasana, we can meditate on Krishna's lotus feet, Radharani's lotus feet, to bring our mind and desires in control, not be unbridled or unchecked. And what does the flag represent? What does the flag represent? The dhwaja.
Victory.
Victory, yes, victory, shelter, security. So those who take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet will be certainly victorious in their life. They will win over the game of life and death. They won't have repeated birth in the material world. This is real victory. So we discuss 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we go to the ones which are different. In Radharani's lotus feet, the half moon is on the left side. So what does half moon represent?
Desires for Krishna consciousness or bhakti.
Yes. Half moon represents desires, spiritual desires. Very nice. Ardha Chandra. Anyone else? Chandra Mauli Who is Chandramauli?
Shivji.
Shivji, yes. He keeps half moon on his head. So basically showing that a pure devotee keeps the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna on their head. Lord Shiva is showing that he always adores himself with it. And what is, Vaishnav Tilak? What is Vaishnav Tilak? The two lines represent what? In the Vaishnav Tilak, what does the two parallel lines represent?
2 feet of Vishnu's.
Yes, the two lotus feet of Lord Vishnu and Krishna. So devotees keep the lotus feet of Lord on their head. And of course, it also means the desires part. So to not have material desires, but to have spiritual desires. Okay, so we discussed that. Now, these are the different ones here, which are not Krishna's feet. The bracelet, flower, and the creeper. The bracelet, flower, and the creeper. So what does flower or pushpa represent? So this marks the divine fame of the feet of the Supreme Śrī Radharani spread everywhere, like the fragrance of the flower spreads everywhere. And also it shows that the flower is very soft, like a rose flower. So all the flowers practically are very soft. The petals especially. So all the spiritual fruits come into being after the blossom in the souls of Radharani. So we're trying to be flowering devotee, right? We want to bhakti lata bija. We want that lata to blossom. And how will it blossom? By taking shelter at the feet of the Lord. So flower, multiple meanings. Then we have the earring. Actually, this is earring is where. No, sorry, earring is on the other side. My bad. This is the bracelet. The bracelet signifies Radha's feet are always present in Krishna's hand when he's massaging them. Her man or sulky mood, in the Jayadeva Goswami's the famous pastime, which some of you may have heard, that he was about to write this pastime, that Krishna is touching the feet of Radharani, and then he didn't write it, he didn't complete. He went, and then Krishna personally came, disguised as Jayadeva Goswami, and then he wrote that. So Krishna touching the feet of Radharani. And that brings us to a nice, see one more. Krishna pranamayi Radha, Radha pranamayi Hari, Jivane dhane Nityaṁ, Radha Krishna gatirmam. So we have that. Krishna drava mayi Radha, Radha dravo mayo Hari, Jivane dhane Nityaṁ, Krishna, Radha Krishna gatirmam. Krishna gehe sthita Radha, Radha gehe sthito Hari, Jivane dhane Nitya, Radha Krishna gatirmam. Krishna chitta sthita Radha, Radha chitta sthito Hari, Jivane dhane Nityaṁ, Radha Krishna gatirmam. All these words are just talking about, you see the first and the second line are the same. Radharani is fixed in the heart of Krishna and Krishna is fixed in the heart of Sri Radha. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna and Hari is situated in the body of Radha. So the bracelet or the representing that Krishna is Radharani's feet are in Krishna's hand. Then the last one here is the creeper. Anyone knows about the creeper? Srimati Radhika, like a creeper wrapping around the Tamal tree known as Krishna. Radharani wrapped around the Tamal tree as the creepers. And a creeper sometimes wraps around a big tree. We have seen. Sincere devotees will hold to Radha's feet just as the creeper firmly holds the Tamal tree. The creeper, why we say Bhakti Lata Bij? Why we say Bhakti Lata? Because Lata needs support of something strong. So we also, a sincere devotee needs support system of sincere devotees, Bhāgavatam, holy name, Krishna's deities, Prasadam, temple, devotees. All these we should hold very tightly. Without the support, the creeper will not grow. Similarly, our Bhakti Lata creeper will not grow until we take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Radha or Krishna. Very, very important point to understand about the creeper. And if we have health, if the creeper has held the support, a strong tree. Right now, I'm not strong. My Bhakti Lata is very weak. But if I hold tightly the strong, stalwart devotees like Prabhupada's mission, the pure Vaishnavas, then there is some hope that the creeper will not die. Otherwise, the strong winds or the strong rains the creeper will be gone. So we can learn that from the creeper. Okay. So everyone okay with these 11? Barley corn, sustenance, disc to remove the 6 mirthas, lotus, you always be attracted to the nectar, upward curve line, go back home, back to Godhead, control the mind and desires, passions, security, the flag, shelter, protection from the incessant material rainfall, the umbrella, Krishna holding the Radha's feet, bracelet, become a flowering devotee, creeper, we need sustenance, hold the support system tightly, and the Chandramauli, and also the moon of desires. This is 11. Okay.
One more time, bracelet. What is the meaning of bracelet?
Bracelet, Radharani's lotus feet are held by Krishna's in his hand when he was massaging them, when he sometimes takes sulky mood. So the sulky mood accompanies her as the bracelet accompanies her hand. So basically, these are the very esoteric pastimes of Radha Krishna. And we discussed the story of Jayadeva Goswami also here. Okay, now on the right side.
Prabhuji, can you please tell once again the elephant goat? What the meaning of elephant goat?
Yeah, this is the elephant goat. This is a small instrument used actually behind the elephant's ear. The Mahavat uses the small elephant. The Mahavat is very tiny, right? Compared to the size of elephant, Mahavat is the person, the driver of the elephant. Even sometimes a 7-year-old boy is riding the elephant. And so he controls the elephant with the elephant goat behind the ear. This is the, so by this tool. So we can pray. Basically, the mind is very violent, like a wild elephant. The desires are very violent, very big, like elephant-sized desires, elephant-sized, unsurmountable. But when we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, Radharani's lotus feet, on the elephant goat, which can easily control the elephant, no matter how big the elephant may be. So that's the meditation to control our desires. Oh Krishna, or Radharani, please help me to control my wild elephant-like desires, my wild mind, which is running here and there in all different directions. So does that help, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, so now we'll come to the right side of Radharani's feet or the left side of Krishna. There are a lot of common. Conch, we all remember the conch. Anyone remembers conch? What was about conch? Shankha.
Knowledge.
Shankha, knowledge, yes, very nice. During the Aarti ceremony, we blow the conch, right? And it also basically also the conch, other meaning is that conch holds water. Like in Aarti ceremony, we hold water in the conch. And after the fire of the lamps, we offer the conch or the water in the conch. So the water in the conch gives shelter from the fire of material world. And the conch also symbolizes victory. When there is like Vijayadhwani, conch in the war, conches are blown. The conch also has the Tri Rekha Ka Kantha, Muhish. The Tri Rekha Kantha also refers to the three lines, the neck of the Supreme Lord. Sthita Griva Damoda. The three lines on the neck. And victory. And the material existence will be crossed. So declaring one who takes shelter of Krishna or Radharani's lotus feet, one will be victorious. And of course, knowledge. Dhruva Maharaj was given knowledge when Krishna touched his conch on his forehead. Then we have the altar, I believe, here. Sacrificial altar, right here. Okay, what does that represent? Anyone? Vedi. So the meaning here is that the sinful deeds of those who take shelter of Radharani's lotus feet will be burned in the fire of sacrifice or the altar of sacrifice. All the sinful desires, the mountains of sins, Giri Parashan Api Paparashin, mountains of Chinatsi Ghoram Sarva Papa, all the pap, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshisham. Krishna says Radharani in so many bhajans about this topic. I will forgive you of all the sinful activities. The other meaning is universe is nourished by the Brahmanas offering fire sacrifices. Like the Brahmanas offer fire sacrifices. Those who offer their minds in the sacrifice to the feet of Śrī Radhika stimulate universal nourishment that affects all the creation. Very beautiful. Let's meditate upon that. Those who offer their minds in the sacrificial altar of Śrī Radha's lotus feet, like the Brahmanas, they do yajna. Does it benefit only the Brahmanas? No, it benefits the whole human race, or the whole man, everyone. All the environment is benefited. All the species are benefited. Similarly, in Kali Yuga, when we render the yajna, sankirtana praya, when we engage our mind in the sacrificial altar, sacrifice the Harinama yajna, yajnanam japa yajnasmi, it will benefit the whole world, all species. Recently, His Holiness Mahavishnu Maharaj was there. He was sharing the story of Lord Chaitanya in Jharikanda forest. We went for a kirtan in a trail walk about a mile long. And it is said in the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, in the Antya Lila, which we're going to read later, that the echo, there's echo. The echo is the kirtan or the chanting of the species which we can't move, like the trees, etc. or we may feel that the trees are not getting benefit, the lizard, the insects are not getting benefit, but they're also getting benefit. So the sacrificial altar. Then the mountain. What is the mountain? Mountain indicates here the Govardhan mountain, which nourishes the senses, nourishes the cows, nourishes everyone. And the conch we discussed, earring. What is earring? Krishna's ear always listens to the tinkling sound of Radharani's ankle bells. Wow. So very, very sweet. Her love poems and ragas of her Veena. So this is how Krishna is always eager to hear about Radharani's the Radha wears the blue color and Hari wears the yellow. Radha is the mistress of Vrindavan, Krishna is the master of Vrindavan. This is the Vrindavaneshwari Radha, Krishna Vrindavaneshwaraha. Nilambaradhara Radha, Nila Vastra, Pitambaradharo Hari. So beautiful. Jivanidhani Nityaṁ, Radha Krishna, Mama. So the tinkling sound of Radharani's lotus, the ankle bells, Krishna is very eager to hear that. Krishna is very eager to hear her voice, her poems, her ragas. And then we come to there's a club here. And then there's a spear here and the fish. Fish is easy to remember. Anyone knows the fish mean? What does fish mean?
Association.
Association.
Without association, we cannot progress or survive.
Yes, like a fish outside the water. Big home, big chocolates, big property, big car, big everything. The fish without water is lifeless. Similarly, a devotee without good association, taking shelter of Krishna's feet, the good process of bhakti is lifeless. That is real meaning. So we should always meditate upon that. The fish cannot live without water. A pure surrendered soul cannot live for a moment without good association of devotees and the process of bhakti. Because the material world is very dry, like a desert. But the oasis of Krishna consciousness is a real shelter or hope. It's the last few here. Club. What is club? What is club? Gada.
Destroy the evils.
Destroy the evils, very nice. Quite similar to the chakra, right? The Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. The Shankha and the Chakra, we can remember that. The Shankha and the Chakra, the Shankha and the Padma are for the blessings. Lord Vishnu has Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Shankha and Chakra are more for the blessings. And Shankha and Padma, Lotus and the Shankha. The Chakra and the Gada are more for destroying the bad, the evil influences. We discuss about this influence, the 6 vices. Gada, quite similar, to destroy the sins, to destroy the evil influences. So we can pray, Krishna, please destroy our sinful lust, anger, greed, by taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. And then the Shakti, the spear, is in Krishna's lotus feet as well. Just so that we can see. Quite similar Shakti here. Anyone recalls?
For Adhyatmik, Adibhotik, Adidoivik, those 3.
Wonderful. Yes, the 3 Shula. So to destroy all the 3 Tapa, a lot of 3s are there. The 3 modes, the 3, planetary systems, upper, middle, lower. We can Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna, become transcendental to the three modes, Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. A lot of three, to destroy all the threes. The Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, Adi Daivik, Kaleshas. So by praying to that Shakti. And the last, and in the middle, the big one, what is it? It is a chariot. You see the wheels, the flags in the chariot. So what does a chariot mean? The chariot of the mind can be easily controlled by taking shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. The chariot of Krishna's mind, this is very esoteric. The chariot of Krishna's mind is carried away by the loving service of Aradhita or Radhika, because she is the topmost servant. So Krishna's mind is carried by Radharani service. But we can pray that our mind, the chariot of our mind, be attracted to Krishna and Radha. Jivanena dhane nitya Radha Krishna gatir mama. My mind, my wealth, my everything is Sri Radha Krishna. This is the prayer. Krishna's lotus feet, Radharani's lotus feet. And these are the symbols we can try to memorize or understand and meditate upon those. If we meditate upon those, if we try to, just close our eyes and think of those symbols. Okay, what does a chariot mean? Okay, why is chariot there? What does the spear mean? What does the lotus mean? What does the umbrella mean? You can just meditate upon that. Sometimes we're driving, we are sitting, we have a lot of downtime. Maybe we're in a grocery store and there are two people ahead of us, right? We can think of these things and meditate. Use our time in meditation upon the Supreme Lord and the lotus feet. So, sorry, I didn't plan that we'll discuss that, but our Radharani and Krishna are taking us. We're just going with the flow. Any comments, any thoughts, additions anyone has? Shruti Mataji, where are you joining from? Just curious to know. Okay. Others, thank you so much. Gandhi Prabhu, Jyoti Mataji, Vijaya Mataji, Devaki Mataji, thank you. Aswati Mataji, Lakshay Prabhu, Vipir Prabhu, and Vipir Prabhu, thank you for taking out your valuable time. So I hope it was meaningful, but it will be more meaningful when maybe tomorrow morning or sometime during the day you can do some 1 or 2 times more revision, or share it with your friend, neighbor, husband, wife, children, brother, father, mother, sister. Then it will get more deeper in the consciousness. So please try that. Okay, so we'll pause here. Grantraj, Bhāgavatam Purāṇ ki jai, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Mahāshay ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Śrī Yugalashtakam ki jai, Śrī Yugal Kishore, Śrī Radha Krishna Pranadhan ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakal Patrobhyascha Kripasimha Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.